Now here's your host, Bill Teegins.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Eddie Sutton Show. Another great week for the Oklahoma State Cowboys as the NCAA tournament is upon us and the Cowboys win 2 to advance to the round of the Sweet 16. Coach, we're taping this program obviously before the team heads to New Jersey, but what a great week with 2 big wins.
Well, it's a great week for Oklahoma State for the team and everyone that supports OSU. And I thought our team played very well in the game against the University of Alabama and played well the second half against Drexel. But Alabama was the most athletic team that I believe we've played since I came to Oklahoma State. The Michigan team a few years ago was pretty athletic, but so was the Crimson Tide. And McDyess, as I was telling you, I'd like to have him when we go to the Meadowlands this week to take on Wake. He's a tremendous young basketball player.
You guys had 2 different types of teams to play. You had Drexel playing late at night. I know that was an adjustment for the team. Then you got to come back and play early against Alabama. So you had kind of the whole gamut of emotions there.
One reason we didn't play well against Drexel, we were around the hotel all day long, broke the routine that we normally have. The game didn't start till quite late. I'd never played or coached in a game that late. And I think that had an effect on the way we played. And then, of course, less than 48 hours later, we have to come back and play a very good Alabama team. And we started that one at noon, or 10 after 12, which was really 10 after 11 body time here in Oklahoma. So it was a little strange. But I thought our players really focused in both ball games, but especially Alabama, and gave us an opportunity to advance to the Sweet 16 for the 3rd time in 5 years. Now, these guys have been in the NCAA every year, but I don't think I've ever seen any of our teams any more focused than our 4 seniors and the guys that are playing were this past weekend. I hope we can get the same kind of performance against the Deacons when we play them Friday evening. Well,
it was a great week, and a lot of other things went on besides just basketball. We're going to show you that later in the show, and when we come back, we'll look at basketball. 2 big wins for the Cowboys when the Eddie Sutton Show continues.
Health Break One Plus milk from Farm Fresh.
Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. As we said, the Cowboys with 2 big wins in Baltimore. A great trip all the way around, Coach.
You know, I have been to Baltimore a few times, but I've never seen weather like we had, and they've really fixed up the downtown area. And we're going to have some shots later of Andre Owens shooting around Baltimore and Washington, D.C. But there you see us loading the bus, headed for Oklahoma City to catch our charter flight, and of course on into Baltimore. And I might say about Baltimore, down there by the harbor area, when I say they fixed it up, it's beautiful down there. And I think all of our fans have traveled to the NCAA, just had a great time.
And you're taking on Drexel, as we said, a very late start in this game.
Our defense was good throughout the ball game. Anytime you hold a ball club to 49 points and they only had 19 at halftime, you have to be pleased with the defense, and they only shot 24% from the field for the game. And one of the reasons we've been winning, there you see Bryant taking a spill. It wasn't an easy game by any means, but we held all 5 opponents in the Big 8 and in the NCAA under 40% shooting. So our defense has been outstanding, and it wasn't in this game. And in the second half, we finally got our offense rolling, and it really wasn't that difficult to beat Drexel.
And you could see that it was just one of those games at the beginning. We were 8 minutes in, and it was 4-2.
Somebody said it at CBS, you know how they send those games around. They sent that score, and they said, we want to go back to Baltimore. That score can't be right. And they were going back, I guess, into New York City or wherever they were, their home office was.
Scott Pierce stepped up, hit some good shots for you, got open.
Scott Pierce continues to play very well. He had 13 points and 5 rebounds in this game, didn't turn the ball over. Good, solid performance defensively. And we're going to have that kind of effort from guys like Owens and Pierce, Roberts, Scare, Collins. We know the R&R boys, Rutherford and Reeves, are going to do well, but we've got to get some good play out of our other players in the Sweet 16. Keontae Roberts just continues to get better and better, and there was a great move by Keontae. I think in this game he didn't have that many points, but he played great defense.
He seems much more confident, too, as getting the ball into country when he operates out of that point.
He's probably as good as we have on making the entry pass from the perimeter into Bryant. He and Andre probably do the best job.
28-19 at halftime. Here we go in the second half.
Well, we ran a play we call zipper, and it's a down screen where Bryant goes down and screens Randy's man, and Randy pops off, and either Randy gets a shot or dumps it back inside the country. There's where Keontae Roberts, he missed that shot, but he's terrific in taking the ball to the basket. He's so strong and such a good athlete. There you can see Randy Rutherford. He's going to set a record in the Big 8. It's going to be hard to ever pass, and that's a number of three-point shots that he's made.
How about Jason Scare?
Jason Scare stepped up, and he scored 6 points, hit a big tray there.
Great hustle throughout this whole tournament, the Big 8 and this. You guys have just won so many loose balls.
Well, when you pick up those loose balls, take charges, things like that, those are the little things that allow you to continue to win, and those are things that will be important for anybody that advances to the Final Four.
Country had 21 points, maybe more importantly, 9 of 9 from the free throw line in this game.
Yeah, we hope he hits them all this weekend up in East Rutherford. We shot 44%, out-rebounded them 53-42, and we were pretty much in control all the way after the slow start offensively. Here it comes. Our players have been on John Nelson. Can you really dunk the ball? And there he displayed his talent.
He was counting those steps, wasn't he? He was going to make sure he hit it on the right step, right foot.
They were teasing me about, there's a term, bucket sucker, laying out, like away when you shoot the ball or they shoot the ball and you take off the other end. That's what he was doing. The players really gave him the needle pretty good.
Well, 48 hours, less than 48 hours later, you're back on the court. Alabama is such an impressive team at the Baltimore Arena.
They are an impressive ball club, and of course, the only time I had seen them before we started taking a look at them in preparation was when they beat Arkansas over in Fayetteville, and they drilled them that night. And I had great respect for this ball club, and I still do.
Bryant backed down from no one. McDyke's a great player, but Bryant played a great game.
A lot of the sports writers, the sportscasters, after the way we had played against Drexel, and he hadn't had really what I would call a great game, and they saw the talent that Alabama possesses, and great pass there. Randy Rutherford gets an easy basket and gets fouled on the play. But a lot of them thought that there was no way Bryant could play 40 minutes against quality athletes like Alabama has, but he certainly surprised them and just had an outstanding ball game, had 26 points, hit 8 out of 10, so he was 17 out of, what would that be? 17 out of 19 in the 2 games up there.
Here's Randy on the move.
Now, Randy, they defended him quite well. They just smothered him, and he had a hard time in the first half, but he was the one that finally, when the game was semi-broken, when we broke away from him, he hit 3 big trays. There's what I was talking about earlier. When Keontae has that angle of the board, he takes it strong, and he is terrific.
Great passing inside.
Well, Andre had 10 assists and only 1 turnover.
Unbelievable. And
just was outstanding as a point guard. Wonderful pass by Big Country into Keontae for the easy basket.
You guys worked that play a couple of times.
Did a great job defensively on the boards. We thought that would be a major key. They had 26 offensive rebounds against Pennsylvania. There's another nice pass by Bryant into Jason Scare. Anytime you get double teamed like he was getting, then you have to look for your teammate that's left wide open, and he did a very good job in doing that in this ball game.
Andre Owens hits the bucket. Again, Andre had 6 points, but 10 assists and 1 turnover. That's unbelievable. You take that any day.
We only had 6 turnovers in this game, which has to be one of the lows for the season. Great hustle play by Randy Rutherford. He did that twice. Those are the kind of plays that allow you to win basketball games.
One of them when he just threw the ball away and then went back and stole it.
There's a great assist by Randy Rutherford. And, you know, everybody knows about Bryant Reeves nationally, but a lot of the Eastern media had not really seen Randy, and they were really impressed with the way he plays. He not only scores, but he's a great rebounder. He's a second leading rebounder on our ball club. He passes the ball, and he defends as well as any guard in college basketball.
It's so much heart. I mean, when you see him, he's such a great competitor. He's a quiet guy, but what a great leader for you.
He's a Spartan. I tell you what, I want him in my foxhole if we ever go to war again, because you know that he's going to be giving it his all.
Well, there's a perfect
great hustle
example.
Play there.
You're up by 1 at halftime, and then when Randy started to lighten it up from outside, that's when the Cowboys pulled away. There's a great pass.
That's one of Andre's 10 assists.
They got some guys that can really sky. Unbelievable, that front line they had.
Well, Jason Scare played very well in this game. He only scored, I think, 2 points, but he pulled down 3 rebounds and defended well.
Randy with 4 trays.
We set this play up right here. It's an out-of-bounds play where we set a triple screen and broke him free in there.
I don't know if it's more fun to watch him shoot it or your bench when he makes it. All those guys just...
Well, there's great anticipation. Yeah. You see everybody rise out of their seats.
See, on the end there? There they go again. Boy, he was just, 2 of 10, I think, shooting first half, comes back in the second half and just played a great game.
There's a good pass into Bryant. Nice turnaround jump shot.
Just great movement all the way.
We shot 46% and held him to 36%.
This is the one Randy threw away. Now watch this. Isn't that great hustle?
That's what you call back tapping, running from behind. And if you really hustle, many times you can outrun the dribbler and make the defensive play.
He just never gives up, does he?
It's a nice pass here. Roberts to Reeves. They went to a 1-3-1 half-court trap, and our players recognized it and got in the right offense. You give me an assist, I'll give you one right back.
Yeah, that's pretty nice right there. And then now it's just desperation time for the Tide.
Look at this play.
That's
a great hustle play. And Keontae gets to flush it home. Now here comes Andre. He's going to do a little under the basket move. And look at him grin. Nothing like winning, Bill.
Oh, no kidding, especially when you get to this point of the season, Coach.
Well, this is what it's all about, and, across America today, that's all anyone's talking about if you're talking about sports, March Madness.
Again, the Cowboys with a win. Obviously, you got to feel good about everything. Well, here we are on the way back home.
Coming back, had a great reception, and as we got back to the hotel. Well, no, they were coming back to Gallagher.
Yeah,
we got a great reception when we came back after the ball game, but people didn't know when we were coming in, and we had, 300 or 400 people there when we got there, and the bus came in earlier than they thought, and all those people left. And then I was told about 30 minutes later, about 300 or 100 more people showed up. So
that was great.
We appreciate that, and I know the players did.
Well, it was a great run, and hopefully it's continuing. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at a different side of the Oklahoma State trip when the Eddie Sutton Show continues.
When we go on the road, we always want to take in all the historic sites and anything like that. And this week, Andre Owens is our staff photographer. Normally, Wade Pearson does all of this. So this week, Wade wasn't with us. Andre had his camera along, and I think he's got a future, Bill. If he doesn't make it in basketball, maybe he'll make it in the movies or television.
Great.
But here you're looking across at Camden Yards, the baseball facility, and what a wonderful facility it is for the Baltimore Orioles. And then we took the team down to the National Aquarium, which is down in the harbor area, and you see us going up, and that was really an education. There's some stingrays, and you're going to take a look here at a shark, and there were all kinds of fish from all over the world. And there we went to the dolphin show.
This is the National Aquarium, I think.
It's the National Aquarium. And anyone that travels to the Baltimore area certainly should go to see that. And we had made arrangements for the team to get to go to the White House. There you're taking a look out of the White House into the Rose Garden. And the guys really got to see a lot of history of our country. And then they got to go into the Oval Office, and each one of them got a picture taken with the President of the United States. And there's Coach Dickey now. He was the tour director. But they just had a fantastic time. And then I had made arrangements after they had left the White House to through Senator Don Nichols' office to go over to the Capitol, and he had some of his aides take them from his office building, and you'll see him riding a tram. Now, there's Andre Owens. He must have loaned the camera to somebody else at this point. But they ride the tram, and there you see John Nelson and the senators ride from their office building over to the Capitol. This is all underground. And then you'll see them, they went into the House chambers and the Senate chambers. There's Doc Cooper, our team physician, and they're getting a tour there. And I think you walk out into the rotunda there, the Capitol. And you know, I can go to Washington to spend a week and never see everything. It's so many wonderful sights, and what a great country we have. And when you go there, you really appreciate that we do live in this in the United States.
Well, just a great experience, I know, for the players, the fans who got an opportunity to see some things, and this is once in a lifetime.
Yes, it is. I told the guys, I said, you know, some of you may not get back to Washington, and some of you may never have the opportunity to go to the White House and shake hands with the president and have your picture taken. And someday you can tell your children, grandchildren, that you had that experience. And there's Coach Dickey again, and they're departing, getting on the bus, heading back to Baltimore to get ready to look at some film on the University of Alabama. There's my oldest son, Steve, and his wife, Robin. But a great trip, and we'll hope that this week we can win 2 ball games, and we're going to give the team a chance to go into New York City, and it's only about 20 minutes across the river from the Meadowlands to downtown New York. So that'll be another great experience for them.
And I know you've always done this, and we've been on the trips to, I can remember out in San Francisco and different places. You think it's important for the kids to get out and do something besides basketball. Obviously, that's why you're there, but to get a chance to see some things.
There's a thing called time management, discipline. I mean, there's a time to think basketball, a time to study. When we're on the road, we have study hall, and there's a time to go sightseeing, and we think that's important. We think that's part of our responsibility as coaches and as an institution to show our players some other things. I know when we were in San Francisco, there were a lot of sites out there, and we took them over to Alcatraz, and I said, this is one reason you want to behave yourself the rest of your life, because you don't want to end up in a place like this.
Guy who plays the worst gets stuck and doesn't come back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at what's ahead for the Cowboys as the NCAA March Madness continues right here on the Eddie Sutton Show. Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. We're talking about the Sweet 16. Now, again, we'll remind you that we are taping this program early before the Cowboys have left for New Jersey, but boy, the Sweet 16, 3 times in 5 years for the Cowboys, great.
That is great, but I made a statement that don't be surprised if you see some strange faces in Seattle, meaning that there could be some teams that aren't seated high. And I guess I missed out on that because of all the NCAAs I've been in since we came back to Oklahoma State, this is the first time that there hasn't been 8, 9, 10, or 11 a team that has surfaced in the Sweet 16. There are 2 6s, and the rest of them are either 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. And that's really a tremendous job on the part of the NCAA Tournament Committee. But there were some people in Los Angeles and in Fayetteville, Arkansas, believing they were saying their prayers the other day because they both escaped the bullet. And from now on, I don't think there is such a thing as an upset, Bill. Now, you can look at our bracket, Wake Forest, Oklahoma State, Tulsa, Mass. Perhaps if you played a series, maybe one of those teams would win more times than the other. Of course, that would happen. But I think our ball game is pretty even. I think the 2 teams mirror each other in a lot of ways. Massachusetts is better than Tulsa, but Tulsa's playing very well, and they're in the Sweet 16 for the second time 2 years in a row.
Here's the West Regional in Oakland.
Mississippi State is a very athletic team, just like Alabama, and I think they'll give UCLA some problems. Maryland and Connecticut should be a tremendous ball game, and I like the way Maryland's been playing. We go to the Midwest, and you go to what Kemper. I call it's Kemper Arena, but it's really Allen Fieldhouse East. Because
Roy's been a little upset with some of that, hasn't he?
But Roy understands that he's going to have a tremendous advantage being able to play there close to home, where his team can really stay in Lawrence. They don't have to go to Kansas City. And they're playing Virginia, but Virginia's very good. And they'll give the Jayhawks a very good ball game. And Memphis and Arkansas, they played earlier in the year, and I believe the Razorbacks beat Memphis by 1 or 2 points, so that too will be a good ball game.
It's a pretty good rivalry right there.
Great rivalry. And in the Southeast, the team that may be playing better than anyone in the country right now, and that doesn't mean that Arizona State can't beat them or Georgetown or North Carolina, but the Wildcats of Kentucky are probably the deepest team of anyone in college basketball. And Bill Frieder, my good friend, and he has an assistant, Doc Sadler, they're going to have to coach awfully hard to beat Kentucky. And the other game, I think the last time those 2 teams played was for a national title down in New Orleans when Dean Smith won his national championship. So great basketball, and like I said, this is an exciting time. You know, as I told the squad this week, you know, as a youngster, you grow up thinking, boy, someday I hope I can play for a national title. And the 16 teams that are left, all of them believe that they can win. And when you get to this point, it just takes maybe a lucky bounce or a good call go your way to win the basketball game. Somebody asked me, what do you want to happen? I said, I want Randy Rutherford to be on a roll. I want him to shoot everything goes up goes in the hole, and I want Bryant to do the same way, and I want our other players to have a good shooting night. Shooting has a tendency to overshadow some of the mistakes that you make, and when you don't shoot the ball well, it really compounds some of the things that you're not doing well. Wake Forest has a tremendous guard in Childress. He did something that no player in the history of the ACC has ever done, and they've trotted a lot of great players through the ACC. He scored 107 points against Duke, Virginia, and North Carolina when Wake Forest won the ACC tournament. They have won 12 games in a row. They got a great center inside. And so the 2 teams, from a philosophical standpoint, play a lot alike. Both teams have great centers, both teams have a great guard, and both teams have good supporting casts. So if both teams play well, it will be a terrific basketball game in the Meadowlands, and that game will be shown here in Oklahoma at 6:40 Friday evening.
Right. Quickly, how about the injury situation? I know you got some problems there. Well,
Brian Reeves has a very sore left elbow, and of course Terry Collins is going to have surgery on his finger after the season is over, and he has these 2 fingers taped together, so it does affect him. Randy Rutherford's been fighting a very severe sore throat all week, but I believe by the time we tip it off Friday evening, those guys, that adrenaline's going to be flowing, and I think that they'll forget all about injuries.
Well, Coach, good luck. It's been a great run. I know Cowboy fans have really enjoyed, especially the last few weeks.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, and we'll hope that next week when we do this show, we'll be headed for Seattle.
Wouldn't that be great? Well, again, the Cowboys with a big trip to East Rutherford, New Jersey this week. For Coach Sutton, I'm Bill Teegins. We'll see you next week on the Eddie Sutton Show.